Always people had questions for Mrs. Roosevelt. Questions about almost everything. To her, these questions were her greatest stimulus because they revealed what other people were thinking. Answering these questions helped Mrs. Roosevelt find her own answers. To ask the questions, we have Mr. Ralph Bellamy, and to give the answers, Miss Agnes Moorehead.
I read somewhere recently that you once thought you saw the ghost of Abraham Lincoln in your sitting room of the White House. Is this true?
No. I told a story of a young woman who said she thought she saw the ghost of Abraham Lincoln sitting on her bed in the White House. I also said that in old houses like the White House, one felt sometimes at night as though someone might be in the room. I have turned from my desk on occasions, feeling that there was a presence in the room, but I've never seen anyone.
One ninth grader would appreciate it very much if you'd tell us what was your most thrilling experience in the United Nations.
My most thrilling experience was the final adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which was the culmination of very hard work and I think an important step in international development.
What do you consider the most important single event of this country?
The establishment of the UN, the second effort of the world's people to do away with war.
What, in the eyes of the world, do you think is our most serious national fault?
Complacency and a lack of recognition of the contributions made by other nations in the areas in which they have something to offer.
Do you think human beings as a whole are getting worse or better? If better, how do you explain all the trouble we seem to be in?
Well, I certainly think human beings have improved. We're not perfect, and therefore trouble is unavoidable. The day there's no longer trouble, we'll be living in paradise.
Do you number among your friends anyone who could be considered as poor people financially?
Many.
How do you explain the fact that you've grown so much better looking as you've grown older?
I thank you for the compliment. Well, it simply means that as you grow older, people don't expect you to be as good looking as they expect a young person to be. So they're kinder in their judgments.
Have you noticed that there are fewer unkind remarks about you in the press in recent years? Do you think there's any special reason for this?
Perhaps it's just because I'm growing old. And people know that they'll not have to put up with me for many more years, so they're more kindly disposed when I do or say things which they disagree.
Has anything ever happened to you that shook your faith in God, even for a moment?
No.
Do you spend all your time doing worthwhile things for others? Isn't it all right sometimes to do things just for fun?
Well, I think everybody does things just for fun. It never occurs to me that I'm doing worthwhile things for others. Most of the time, I'm doing things because I enjoy doing them.